You took a break. Maybe it was a vacation. Maybe burnout forced you out. Maybe life just happened. And for 2 months you were off. No routines. No deadlines. No structure. And honestly, it felt good. But now you're back. And something is deeply uncomfortably wrong. You sit down to work and nothing comes out. You make a to-do list. You stare at it. You reorganize it. You make a better to-do list. And somehow an hour disappears and you've done absolutely nothing. And the worst part, you know what you need to do. You're not confused. You're not tired. You're just stuck. Here's what I need you to understand before we go any further. What you're experiencing is not a character flaw. It's not weakness. And it is not permanent. But the advice you've been fed about it. Just push through building discipline and stop being lazy. That advice is not just wrong. It is actively making your situation harder. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening inside your brain after a long break, why standard productivity advice backfires on people like you, and a specific 3-phase system to get your momentum back for real this time. And I'll tell you right now, one thing I'm going to share in this video completely changed how I think about motivation and getting back on track. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's get into it. Part 1. Why your brain is working against you. Let me ask you something. Before the break, were you actually productive? Did you have a rhythm, goals you were working toward? Most people watching this would say yes. Which means this isn't about whether you can work. You already proved you can. So why does it feel like starting from zero? Here's the science behind it, and I promise this will shift something for you. After an extended period of rest, your nervous system recalibrates. It adapts to lower demand, lower stimulation, lower output. That becomes the new normal. So when you suddenly sit down and try to force high performance, your brain doesn't say, "Great, let's go." It says danger. It reads the sudden demand as a threat and triggers what's called cognitive load resistance, essentially a mental friction response designed to protect you from overwhelm. That heaviness you feel when you try to start, that fog, that urge to check your phone instead of opening the document. That is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is it doesn't know the difference between genuine danger and a deadline. And here's where most people make the first critical mistake. They feel that resistance and they try to overpower it. They set 12 tasks for the day. They wake up an hour earlier. They download a new productivity app. They try to go from 0 to 100 overnight. And for 1, maybe 2 days it works. They feel the rush of being back. And then on day 3, they crash, harder than before. And now they don't just feel unproductive. They feel like a failure. Does that cycle sound familiar? The solution isn't more force. The solution is understanding what phase you're actually in, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. But before I get there, I want you to think about this. What if the reason you keep falling off after every break has nothing to do with how hard you try and everything to do with the order in which you do things? Because there is a sequence, and most people are doing it completely backwards. Part 2. The reentry system. I call it the reentry phase, and it's the single most important thing you're not doing. Here's the truth. High performers who take long breaks don't come back by doing more. They come back by doing strategically less in the right sequence. Think about an astronaut returning from 6 months in space. They don't walk off the shuttle and go straight to the gym. Their body needs recalibration, gradual reintroduction to gravity, a structured return. Your mind works the same way. So here's the 3 weeks reentry system, simple, practical, and it works. Week 1, the ignition week. Your only job this week is to work in 15-minute focused sprints once a day. That is it. No big projects. No full schedules. Just one 15-minute block of real, focused, intentional work every single day. You're not trying to be productive yet. You're trying to prove to your nervous system that sitting down to work is safe again. Week 2, the momentum week. Now you double it. 2 focused blocks a day, 30 minutes each. You also introduce 1 non-negotiable daily task. Something small, something completable. Not to overwhelm yourself. To start generating wins. Because wins rebuild confidence. And confidence is what's actually driving productivity. Week 3, the build week. Now you layer in longer sessions, a fuller schedule, the habits and routines you had before. But now you're not forcing them onto a resistant brain. You're introducing them to a brain that's already been reactivated and is ready for them. 3 weeks. That's all it takes to go from stuck to fully back in flow. But here's the layer that makes this entire system actually work, and this is the part most productivity content completely ignores. What if procrastination after a break isn't really a productivity problem at all? What if it's something much deeper than that? Part 3. The identity collapse. When you were in your routine, you had an identity built around it. I'm someone who shows up. I'm someone who works hard. I'm the person who gets things done. You probably didn't say it out loud, but you felt it, and it felt good. 2 months off quietly dismantled that identity. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just slowly, day by day, the evidence that you are that person stopped being produced. And without evidence, identity weakens. So now when you sit down to work, there is a voice underneath, everything quiet, but powerful, whispering. Are you even still that person? Do you still have what it takes? That doubt creates friction. The friction creates avoidance. The avoidance creates more doubt. And the loop tightens every single day. This is why people who are genuinely talented, genuinely capable, genuinely motivated still can't seem to start after a long break. It's not about ability. It's about identity erosion. And here's the powerful thing. You don't fix it with a grand comeback. You fix it with one small act of proof per day. A 10-minute writing session. One completed task. One workout. Not because of what it produces, but because of what it says to yourself about who you still are. You are not trying to rebuild output. You are rebuilding proof. And once that identity becomes solid again, the procrastination doesn't stand a chance. Because you stop fighting resistance from the outside and start operating from the inside. So let's bring this home. After a long break, 3 things have happened to you. Your nervous system recalibrated to low demand and now reads work as a threat. Your reentry strategy has been too aggressive, creating a crash and burn cycle. And underneath it all, your identity as a high performer quietly faded, and everything you do feels like fighting upstream. The path back is not grinding harder. It is not downloading another app. It is not waking up earlier tomorrow and white-knuckling your way through the day. It is understanding your brain, using the reentry system, and rebuilding your identity one small proof at a time. Imagine 3 weeks from now. You're back in flow, not forcing it, not dreading the start of the day, just working with clarity, with momentum, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are again. That is not a fantasy. That is what happens when you stop fighting how your mind works and start working with it. You came back from that break for a reason. Now go take your first 15 minutes. Not tomorrow. Right now. That's where it starts.